Hello everyone. Welcome to this acting webinar. It is Thursday, July 23rd, 5:59 p.m. Central Time. Well, it is now 6 p.m. Central Time. I will connect my video in just a second. Can you please go ahead and start by introducing yourself? If you can please write down your name, where are you connecting from, and if this is the first time that you take a webinar with me. There we go. So as you can see, we do have a chat that we can use for a Q&A. Yes, and now we're using it. So we have Victor McCoy, Detroit. First time. Welcome, Victor. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you so much for connecting. Bill from Nanaimo, BC. First time. Welcome, Billy. Hello, Cody from Wisconsin. First time. Tiffany from Alberta, Canada. First time. Welcome, Tiffany. Elvira, first time. Welcome, Elvira. Teresa from Branson, Missouri. Michael, first time from Sacramento. Deidre, I apologize if I'm not pronouncing correctly your names. As you can tell from my accent, I'm not from around, and I will tell you a little bit about myself in a little bit. But first, I want to know who is connecting. We have 29 participants so far. We're going to give it a little more time to see if more people connect. But so far, we have 29. And we have Michael from Amarillo, Texas. Scott, Saxe, Texas. DFW, look at you. I'm in Dallas. So we're pretty close, Scott. First time, welcome. Rhonda from Nebraska, first time. Steve, first time from Houston. Jean-Paul, MD, not first time. All right. Well, now we have 31 participants. So far, we have only first timers except for one person. Natalia from Chicago. Very cool. Now, can somebody do me a favor and type down what topic are we supposed to talk today? Because I know that you're connecting, you're signing in for a specific class, but I'm not sure if it's audition process or voice acting. Now, I usually like to go with audition process for the first timers. It is a very complete class that tells you what to do and what not to do from the moment that you get the casting call to the moment that you leave the room. I talk about headshots, I talk about resumes, I talk about the way I prepare, how to analyze the script, everything. I've been an actor for 14 years, and I have gathered all this information in a presentation. About yeah, things to do and not to do. But I am looking at this chat, and it says voice acting, so I also have prepared a voice acting class. I just want to make it very clear. I want to honor that you signed for a voice acting class, so I would do that. But just wanted to give you the option as well in case you were interested in the audition process presentation. Um, but if you want, we can go through the voice acting presentation as well. I am interested in voice acting. Okay, if that's what you sign in for, that's what you will get. Just wanted to give you more options in case some people were interested in the other one. Audition sounds good. Yeah, Billy, it is a really good class, to be honest with you, especially for first timers. But if the workshop said that it was voice acting and people are more interested in that rather than the audition process, I think I have to honor what the class is. Ba, ba, ba. All right, 32 participants so far. Welcome everybody. While Daryl from Oklahoma, welcome Daryl. I would be interested in the audition process also. Do you wanna, I don't know, I don't like to like make a vote because then the people who did sign in for the voice acting, and that's what we're supposed to do, I don't think that would be fair. From here, Houston, Texas, first time, welcome Eddie. Um, a little bit about myself. So my name is Omar Padilla. I am from Mexico. I moved to Texas 15 years ago. Well, actually, more than that. I've been saying 15 years ago for the last, in 2009. So that would be 17 years ago. Brandy Bryan from Denton, Texas. First time, so be gentle. I am going to Denton actually tomorrow, no, on Saturday for a performance. Um, so as I was saying, for information, your audition process class can be looked up on YouTube. Oh, okay. All right, there you go. If you want to check out the audition process, apparently it's on YouTube. If you want to look on that. It's always different though, because I always get different questions. But there you go. Hello, either way it's fine for me. I think we should honor the voice acting because if people are connecting for that class and then I go with the audition process and they already took that, that would be tricky. So again, my name is Omar Padilla. I am from Mexico. I moved to Texas in 2009 with the passion of becoming a professional actor. I don't like to call it dream. I used to call it with the dream of becoming a passion, but when you say dream, it stays in that spectrum, right? Like in the dream, maybe not real. And so I change it now to with the passion of becoming a professional actor. And I've been doing so for the past, since 2014. So that's 12 years. Started doing theater. I still do a lot of theater. I have worked with almost every company in DFW, including Dallas Theater Center, Dallas Children's Theater, Undermain Theater, Ocker House Theater, Second Thought, Cara Mia, Teatro Dallas, Shakespeare in the Bar, Shakespeare Everywhere, Shakespeare Dallas, Altered Shakespeare. So I've been very blessed and very grateful to have all these opportunities. When 10 years ago, if you would have asked me or if you would told me that I was going to be doing Shakespeare, I would laugh at you because I couldn't believe that I was going to get an opportunity to work on Shakespeare. And now it's one of my favorite things. As a matter of fact, I just closed a show last Sunday, Shakespeare in the Park. We did The Merry Wives of Windsor. And then in 2 weeks, I start rehearsals for Titus Andronicus. I am playing the villain. I'm very excited about that. I love playing villains, especially this one. It's called Saturninus. He's crazy and very unhinged. And I really like characters that challenge me, and take me out of my comfort zone. In 2016, I signed with Kim Dawson Agency. And since then, my work extends not only on stage, but also on camera. I do a little bit of film, commercials, anime, voice acting, radio, etc. When I'm not performing on stage or on set, I do work as a teaching artist, providing classes like this one right here. I just came from teaching another class for little ones, like 6, 7-year-old beginner actors. I also teach middle schoolers, not at schools, only as a teacher guest. I'm not like a full-time teacher or anything like that. I am a full-time artist. I also tour some shows that I wrote myself for kids at different schools, right? We are always touring different places to different schools, and that's how I make my living. And so if you are here because you want to be a full-time artist, a full-time actor, well, let me tell you something. If I can do it, you can do it as well. One of my favorite things in this business is voice acting, right? It is so much fun, but it also, there's a technique that we have to follow in order to do a good job and to book gigs, right? Maybe you've been doing it for a while, maybe you are starting. So this particular class is going to take you on my process, the way I warm up. We're going to do some warm ups. We're going to understand where does our voice come from. Have you thought about that? Where does your voice come from? You're thinking right now from my mouth, right? But no, there's three systems that we use in our body in order to project our voice. And if you understand that, then it'll be easier for you to know, oh, okay, then this is what I need to be focusing on. This is what I need to warm up before an audition or before a gig, so my voice can be projected properly and it sounds crisp, right? I'm going to tell you all about that. But before that, let me ask you a question, and I want you to answer it in the chat. That's why we have this chat. Unfortunately, I cannot see you, but we have this chat that we can use in order to communicate with each other. Now I know your names, where are you connecting from, and if this is the first time that you connect, right? So, what I want to ask you right now, and I want you to write it down in stream of consciousness. If you don't know what that means, it means that you don't stop to think to make it look pretty, to make it sound philosophical or anything like that. Just whatever comes to your mind, immediately put it in there, right? And I mean, you can lie to me, but you cannot lie to yourself, right? And it's a very, very simple question. Hello, Kimberly Jones, first time, welcome. The question is, why are you here? It is Thursday, 6:10 p.m. I don't know where you are. Here is sunny. It's a little too hot, right? But you can be doing anything right now. But you decided to be here 1 hour with me to learn about something. Why are you here? Why do you want to be an actor? Why do you want to be an artist? Don't think too much. Don't worry about the grammar. Don't worry about making it look pretty or anything like that. Whatever comes to your mind first, boom, put it right there and I will read you. Hello, Emiliano Zapata. Emiliano Zapata, are you kidding me? That's one of our heroes in Mexico. That's a cool name from Grapevine, Texas. Look at you. You are actually pretty close to where voice acting happens in the whole country, which is Crunchyroll. Welcome, Emiliano. First time here. All right, so the question is, why are you here? Why are you deciding to take 1 hour of your day with me instead of doing anything else? Why do you want to be an artist? Why do you want to be an actor, a singer, a model, whatever the reason is that you're here? Building on my craft, okay, to learn voice acting, okay, to continue to grow, to learn about voice acting. Wanted to try something new and different, express myself through art. Why am I here? Intrigued to see what voice acting is all about. I love the idea of voice acting. I have always been complimented on my voice. I'm also going to film and things, but I love the idea of voice acting as another avenue. Okay, freedom of expressing my art of imagination. Very cool. I want to be who I was meant to be. Mm. I would really love to learn how to and book voice over jobs. Sounds so exciting. It is. For myself, perhaps to see if this fits for me. Very honest. I would love the opportunity to do voiceovers for shows such as Bob's Burgers. Oh my God, that's one of my favorite shows. And my favorite is Linda. That character is so funny. I would love to learn what I need to learn to get involved in any cartoon voiceovers. Okay, was looking to doing like CGI films to explore new opportunities. Voice acting affords me to not always on the road and spend time with my kids. I am here. I have always wanted to do something that could help people laugh or feel something in the arts, whether it be through audio, visual, or drawing arts. I have a talent of mimicking various voices in different accents and tones. Awesome. All right. The reason why I'm asking you this, and I'm going to be very honest with you, it's because at some point, if you decide to do this, and if your journey takes you there and you do not, get distracted with anything else, like a lot of people do, there's a lot of good friends of mine that do theater or they do commercials here and there, but they're not 100% dedicated to the craft. They have to pay bills, they have kids, they have a life, right? And sometimes doing this is not enough. Whatever it is whatever it is that you want to make for a living in your life. So a lot of them are teachers or they're salesmen or waiters, waitresses, they do something else. I personally decided I did a lot of things. I was a salesman door to door. I worked a lot of fast food restaurants. I worked for a lawyer. I did graphic design. But there was one day when I was like, you know what? Time is going really fast. And I want to wake up and think to myself, I love my life. I love what I do for my living, no matter what, right? And ever since then, I am full time doing this type of work, acting, doing commercials, doing theater, doing film, doing voiceover. But it is not as easy as I wish it could be, right? There's a lot of sacrifices, at least in my life, that I had to make. I don't travel as much as I would like to. That doesn't mean that it's your life, right? Your experience. But in my life, I had to put some things beside. I don't have any kids, so nobody depends on me. And again, if you have kids, that doesn't mean that you cannot do this. You can. I just want you to understand, and that's why I'm asking you this question. Why are you here? That there are going to be moments in your life, in your career, where you say, that's it. I want to throw the towel. But that's not your real you. That is your ego, and your ego in this business plays a big, big part. And unfortunately, we cannot get rid of our ego. I mean, it would be so easy to say, goodbye, ego. No, it's going to be living with you for the rest of your life. But you have to understand how this business work in order to change the switch, right? And whenever your mind is telling you, this is too hard, this is not for me, I don't fit, there's someone better than me, I suck, I blah, 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 all these things that your mind is going to try to tell you, that is going to trick you, then you go back to your answer, right? And whatever the reason it is that you are doing this, you come back, and if it is big enough for you to keep doing it, then you keep doing it. And I will tell you my reason, right? Very quickly about myself. Like I said, I'm from Mexico. I discovered this passion, I don't know, when I was 7 years old. I used to go to the theater, to the movie theater every Sunday. Every Sunday was going to the movies with my father because that's the only day I could see him, right? And he always wanted to take me there because he knew that's what I loved the most. But there was one particular movie that really, like, I was like, oh my God, what is this? And it was the Three Musketeers Disney version. I was like 7 years old. So we come out of the theater and I want to know everything about this. Why is this? Why is that? Blah, blah, blah. My dad explains me they are actors, there's a script, and that's what fascinated me the most at first. It was the script, the storytelling aspect of it. I was like, whoa, so we have this condition as humans. We can tell stories. That's amazing. So I started telling stories very young with my family. Every time that we used to go to my grandparents' house, we used to perform little plays that I wasn't writing them, but I was like, formulating them in my mind, and I just like, orally tell them the stories to my cousins. You're going to be this part, you're going to be this part, I'm going to be this part, and we're going to perform. And so we perform in front of my family. And I remember listening to them laughing brought me so much joy that I was like, this is amazing. Fast forward, I discovered that the main purpose of drama, if you want to do this to inspire people, or if you want to do this to teach people, that's totally fine. But that shouldn't be the main purpose. Do not forget, we are entertainers. The main purpose of drama should be to entertain. Okay. And when I started writing plays, I remember my first plays, I was always looking for the inspiration. What can I tell these kids? How can I inspire them? How can I teach them something? Until it came to me, I was like, I shouldn't be focusing on that. I should be just focusing on entertaining them. And if the inspiration comes or teaching them something comes, that's a plus, but it should always be to entertain. And I'm not saying that. One of my favorite playwrights, David Mamet, says that the main purpose of drama should be to entertain. And I think that is my purpose as well. The same as drama, my purpose in life is to entertain. And I love entertaining. I started entertaining my family, then my classmates at school, then my neighbors in my neighborhood. Then I decided to move to Texas and take a risk, study acting. There's always something to do. When people were saying in the pandemic, well, the pandemic happened, so I cannot do anything. What are you talking about? This is a time to learn. And that's why I admire the 35 people that are here. I admire you. I respect you because you are learning and you're wanting to learn something new, right? During the pandemic, I read a lot, stuff that I didn't learn at school. I wanted to learn more about techniques or somebody that I admire. We have all these tools right now that we can use. You go to Google and I want to know more about Al Pacino. How did he come up to the person and the great actor that he is? You learn, you get inspired by them as well. And then you hear, oh, he learned about the Stanislavski, the method acting. I want to read about that. All information is there. You never stop learning. I learned to play the ukulele during the pandemic, and little did I know that I was going to be hired on plays just because I play the ukulele now, right? Um, when I was in my second or third year of theater, they hired me to do a play where I thought it was a small part, right? Then a coach, an acting coach, told me there are no small parts. There are only small actors. That hit me like really, really hard because I thought, yeah, even if you're on stage for 5 minutes, you can embrace it and do it as good as you can. You never know what's going to happen. That play, I was the only Hispanic guy. It was only like 10 minutes on stage. They were gonna pay me, they paid me $150 for 2 months of work where I have to drive from Dallas, Texas to Arlington, which is like a 45-minute drive. It was less than what I spent on gas. But little did I know that on the audience was going to be an agent. And when she saw me on stage, she came to me after the play and she told me, "Hey, do you have representation?" I'm like, "No." "Do you want representation?" I was like, "Yes." "We want to hire you. You are now a talent of the Kim Dawson agency." And ever since then, I've been doing now radio and some anime that I really, really love. I know somebody here is living in Grapevine, Texas. If you don't know, um, very close to Grapevine is this place called Crunchyroll. This is where most of the anime in the United States is dubbed. So we're very lucky to be living here where we can go and do some anime, right? My first anime was actually a movie, and I think you can watch it on YouTube as well. It's called Gato Divine Flame, and I play this awesome character whose name is Dario Montoya. He's a knight who plucks out his eyes because the woman that he loves has her face deformed, so he plucks out his eyes so he doesn't have to say, Japanese anime is very dramatic sometimes, but I love it. Well, I think it is time to go through the presentation. It's already 6:20 Central Time, and there's a lot of things that we need to talk in this class. And I'm going to tell you, because this is voice acting one, I divided this class in two because you need to know the basics first before we go into the second class is mostly analyzing copy, right? How can you analyze copy to understand if you're going to be an announcer style or more like a character style? That's more in class two. But this one, we're going to talk about how to do a good audition, how to warm up your voice, and the four different tools that you have in your voice that you can manipulate those tools. And maybe you can do one or two or three different voices, right? Well, if you know how to manipulate these four tools, you can do 30 voices, right? Because that's how big of a range we can have as human beings. So before we go into the presentation, let me read you. I genuinely love to act and get better at my craft. And yes, people always compliment on my voice. It's deep and unusual, some say. Ooh. I'm here because I want to be part of something new, get out of my comfort zone. I have no echo. I am and can be very humble. We need humble people in this world. Lover of telling stories. Awesome. Thank you. Boom. Understood. Wow. Beautiful. Yep. Thank you, Tiffany. All right. It's time to go to the presentation. If you can see my screen being shared, just give me a thumbs up. And I'm sharing now. And participants can now see your screen. So I guess that means you can see my screen. Yes. Marisa, yes, you can see my screen? Thumbs up. Okay, so if you can see my screen, I am going to close the webinar chat. Boom, I cannot see your comments anymore during the presentation, all right? And let me see, slideshow, play from start. Oh, wait. That is voice acting class 2, so this is not the one, this is the one. All right, and slideshow, play from start. All right, you guys ready? I'm not. Let me take a sip of coffee. Okie dokie. Voice acting, class number 1. All right, so who am I? You already know. Why are we here? We already know. What is the purpose of the workshop? You already know. So let's just go to what you want to know, hopefully. And I'm going to close this. Sorry, Stephen. All right. So first of all, difference between acting and voice acting. Very simple, right? Very logic. Acting, you use your body, you use your voice, and you use your imagination. Those are our three tools as an actor, right? We have our voice, we have our body, and our imagination. Very, very important. As a voice actor, all you have is your voice, so there's lots of room for improvisation and freedom. Your imagination is everything. So your body, even though they're not going to see your body, it's also very important to understand where your voice comes from, because I mean, it is part of your body, right? But what I mean about this is when you do the work, all they are going to hear is your voice. They're not going to see you at all, right? But when you're in the gig, when you're inside that booth, you still have to use your body. I don't know if any of you have seen Hugh Jackman when he's dubbing his Wolverine fight sequences. He's there, man. Like he's running, he's doing the so you can feel it better, right? But that's what I meant. Like when you have a final result, the final product, nobody's going to see your body. They're just going to hear your voice. So where does your voice come from? Well, there are three systems that work together to create your voice. We have the respiratory, the phonatory or the voice box, and the resonance systems. So I am creating here a graphic so that you can understand better where is the resonatory system, where is the phonatory system, and where is the respiratory system. So the respiratory, also known as breath support, includes your lungs, your rib cage, and your chest muscles. Also, the diaphragm, this one right here, right? Look at all the parts of your body that you need in order to project your voice. The phonatory system, also known as the voice box, this is where the sound is produced, and this includes the larynx and specifically the vocal cords. And the resonatory system, also known as the vocal tract, this includes the throat, the nasal passages, sinuses, and the mouth. All right? Three different systems that we need in order to use our voice. Oops, what did I do? Okay, so taking care of your instrument. What is your instrument? Your voice, right? Super important. Hydration. Hydration is a big deal. And I mean, I know you're looking at me, drinking water here, sipping coffee then. That's because you need to take care of your instrument. Nobody else is going to do it for you. You have to be responsible to take care of your instrument, okay? Hydration is a big deal. Rest your voice as much as you use it. So when I do this type of classes, when I am by myself talking for 1 hour, I know that after this, then I have to rest my voice also, equally the same time. If I am using it constantly for 1 hour, then I need to rest it for an hour as well. My friend teachers, they're 7, 8 hours working a day, talking to the students all the time, and then they go do voiceover. They need to rest their voice as much as they can. Okay. Hydration, I would recommend, like if you're gonna go to a voice acting gig or an audition, I usually like warm liquids like tea. I don't know if coffee is your thing, but I would totally recommend tea before an audition. Pay attention to your body, all right? I am a very good Mexican and I love tacos. It's not a cliche, it's not a stereotype. Most of us like tacos, I do. But if I know that I have an audition the same day or the next day, I try to eat as healthy as I can because I don't want to be, grumpy. You know that say, right? You are what you eat. And sometimes when you eat all this meat in the tacos and stuff, sometimes you feel like a little sludge, like tired or grumpy. I don't know. So I want to put stuff in my body that I know it's going to make me feel with energy, healthy, and that I'm going to be able to provide a very good audition or a very good work, right? You need to respect your mechanism as much as you can. It's very important. I mean, I don't understand actors that say, "Oh, I don't get booked or anything," and then You see them on Instagram partying until 3 a.m., 4 a.m. It's like, okay, you want to do one or the other, man. It's really hard to do both. I mean, I know there's people that can do it. I'm not in that age anymore. I know that. So I need to respect my mechanism as much as I can, right? All right. So warming up your voice. We're going to start, and I'm going to do it. I hope you can see me on that little screen in the corner. I'm going to go very quickly, okay? I'm not going to take the time that I usually take for a warm up. So I usually take probably 15 to 30 minutes warming up, right? I cannot do that right now because otherwise the class would be over. So I'm going to go fast, but I'm going to do it anyway so that you can see what I do before an audition or before a gig. I always start with a gentle massage in my face. Like, I don't know if you do this often, but oh my God, it feels so awesome. Like, we don't massage, we don't treat ourselves that much. Well, at least I don't unless I have an audition. So I massage the whole face, my ears, right? My forehead, my eyes, but I pay particular attention to my nose, and I start, it doesn't matter if I sound funny, but I start massaging the nose, right? The eyes, my eyebrows, my forehead, my ears. I hope you are doing this with me so you understand how awesome it feels. All right. After you do your face massage, I already feel great. You start with the neck. So you do big yes, like this, really big. Go obviously as far as you can. Do not force it, right? Big yes. And you're going to understand why the neck is also important. You might be like, but that's not part of my voice. Well, you'll see. And then you do ear to the shoulder, right? Like this. And if you can, stretch it with your hand like this. Feel the tension on the other side of your neck very, very gently. And then you go to the other side. Same thing. You stretch all this part of your neck. Very, very nice. And then you do big nose, like one side to the other, one side to the other, and do it at your own pace, right? Try not to go too quickly though. There we go. And then we do some circles to the right and then to the left. Like I said, I'm not taking the time that I usually take, but I just want you to see all the exercises I do to warm up only for a voice acting gig. All right. Then we do small yes and no's. So you're going to go up and down, but at the same time, left and right. So you do it like this and then up. Oh my God. Very good. And then the same way, you're going to say like yes, but all now going left to right. I know I look ridiculous, but believe me, this works and I book, right? After doing that, um, the lips, okay? So you're going to open and close your mouth just like that. And then you're going to tight and relax. So look at the lips. You tight like this and relax. Tight. Kiss and smile. So you do. And really like don't give me a smile like very shy smile. Like really stretch all the muscles of your face, right? So you kiss, smile. There you go. And then you do oh you also. And then we go with the jaw, right? So you open and close. And if you want to give a little massage, that's totally fine. Then left, right, then pull and rest like this. You see all the muscles that you're warming up? If you can also do this one, it'll be great. You put your hands together like this and you shake like this. This is the weirdest one, but trust me, it works so good to relax your jaw, and the enunciation is way better. And we're going to talk about enunciation in a little bit. All right, the tongue. So you extend your lips inside like this. When you're doing Shakespeare, an acting coach told me it's very important to extend your lips inside, also for enunciation, right? Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. There you go. And then stick out like that Albert Einstein painting. Uh-huh. And then tip of tongue touches upper lip and then the lower. Mm-hmm. And then you run through inside of teeth like this. And then from teeth to the back going through the palate. From here all the way back. There you go. R's, if you can roll your R's. Now we're gonna warm up our palate. You're gonna think that you have a big hot potato like this. Ho, 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 ho. I am so sorry for my neighbors. Like they probably are like, what the hell is going on down there? Ho, 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 ho. And then yawn. If it happens naturally, there you go, even better. But if not, just fake it till you make it, baby. One more. You do a little humming. Very good. All right. So now we're still warming up. We're gonna do some breathing exercise. Okay. We're gonna work the diaphragm. We're going to start by breathing in, but when you breathe in, a lot of people like breathe in and leave the air here or in the chest. We need to take it all the way back down. I don't know if you've ever seen babies breathing in, how their bellies inflate, like the chihuahuas when they drink water. That's what we want, right? So you breathe in and you really inflate your belly. One more time. And now it's silent. You're just working your diaphragm. Okay? You do that as much as you want. And then we're going to start vocalizing, right? So you breathe in, still taking all the way down to your diaphragm, but now we're going to produce some sound. So you do ha, ha. You do that as much as you want. The humming, breathe in. I like to do this like 5 times. All right. Then the ha. So again, you stand up and you're gonna place your hands on your abdomen. You're gonna breathe in by expanding your stomach outward, like we did before, like this. And now, when you are exhaling, you're going to push, right, by saying ha. So you breathe in and then do ha, 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 ha. Breathe in. Ha, 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 until you have no more air, right? You do this also like probably 5 times. Now, I did this like a long time ago, and back then I used to call them trumpets, but then a kid told me they're not called trumpets, they're called raspberries. And I'm like, oh, okay, so raspberry, I never changed it. So we're gonna do some raspberries. You breathe in through your nose, and you do and you're gonna feel it on your vocal cords, in your mouth, in your tongue. Breathe in. One more time. Breathe in. I really hope you're doing this with me because you can tell the difference from your voice without warming it up and then warming it up. And maybe you don't feel it in your daily lives, but when you're on stage, for example, you feel how natural, how crisp your voice is after you warm up, right? If you don't warm up, it's not the same. We repeat the tip of the tongue, 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 the tip of the tongue. But don't just repeat it for repeating it, right? Like, don't just do the tip of the tongue, the tip of the tongue. That no, you need to stretch all the muscles of your face, right? The tip of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, the tip of the tongue. Even if you look funny, that doesn't matter. I mean, we're actors. Come on. All right. Let's talk about the four main tools that you can change in your voice. So there are four tools. The first one is articulation. Second one is volume. Third one is pitch. And the fourth one is tempo. So let's talk about each one of them. We're going to start with articulation because it's super important, right? We need to transmit the message the best that we can. So the physical act of clear vocal expression, that's what articulation is. You articulate sounds with your lips, with your teeth, with your tongue, with your jaw, and with your palate. Now you understand why it's important to warm up all these things. Maybe at first of the class you were like, why am I warming up my palate? Why am I warming up my jaw? Like now you know, because to articulate properly, you need to use all these parts of your body, right? So now that we have warm up, hopefully you're doing it as well, your articulation is way better. I had a vocal coach. He told me once that Hispanic people like me used to eat the consonants of the words. And I was like, oh my God, that's actually true. Because, yeah, like we say, like, we used to eat the consonant of the words, like not consonant, consonants, consonants, right? It's important that if we want to transmit the message, especially in voice acting, again, because they're not seeing your body or anything like that, you cannot do any body expression, right? You cannot communicate with your body at all. It's just your voice. So it's very important that you articulate as good as you can, right? In order to be understood, an actor must pronounce words clearly. To articulate refers to the clarity and expressiveness with which you speak. And so, guess what? A very good thing to practice articulation are tongue twisters. Tongue twisters are a good way to practice clear articulation. You want to start slowly and then you build up speed, okay? Don't want to do it very quickly immediately. Memorize them and then you repeat them, okay? So, I'm going to do some tongue twisters. I hope it goes well. So we'll start with something simple, right? Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. If you want to add a little more, you can say red leather, yellow leather, blue Buick, blue, no, blue Buick, red Buick, blue Buick, red Buick, red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, blue Buick, red Buick. High roller, low roller, lower roller, high roller, low roller, lower roller, high roller, low roller, lower roller. I need a box of biscuits, a box of mixed biscuits, and a biscuit mixer. Again, you start slow. I need a box of biscuits, a box of mixed biscuits, and a biscuit mixer. And then you add a little more tempo, right? I need a box of biscuits, a box of mixed biscuits, and a biscuit mixer. As fast as you can. You don't need to go too fast. That's not the purpose of a tongue twister. The purpose is that you say the words clearly, right? I need a box of biscuits, a box of mixed biscuits, and a biscuit mixer. Yeah, that's a hard one for me. That's a hard one. That one is hard to me too. He thrusts his fist. He thrusts his fists against the posts and still insists he sees the ghosts. He thrusts his fists against the posts and still insists he sees the ghosts. Jeez. Fridays, 5 fresh fish specials. 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 Unique New York, New York, unique. You know, you need unique New York. That's my favorite, I think. I always tell it to my kids and they love it because they are like, New New York, New New. I'm like, what is that? Unique New York, New York, unique. You know, you need unique New York. Unique New York, New York, unique. You know, you need unique New York. This one is hard. Imagine an imaginary menagerie manager, imagining managing an imaginary menagerie. I don't even know what that means, but it sounds fun. Imagine an imaginary menagerie manager imagining managing an imaginary menagerie. One more time. Imagine an imaginary menagerie manager imagining managing an imaginary menagerie. Jeez. And I'm sure you know other tongue twisters that you can do by yourself. She sells seashells by the seashore. By the seashore, she sells seashells. Some people say Sally, blah, blah, blah. This is mine. This is the way I do it. My kids sometimes are always also like, Sally sells seashells. No, no, no. I just want to do it like this. She sells seashells by the seashore. By the seashore, she sells seashells. And if you want to challenge yourself, you can do one in Spanish. Tres tristes tigres tragaban trigo en tres tristes trastes en un trigal. Pablito clavó un clavito. ¿Con qué clavito clavó Pablito? Parangurukitirimícaro. Something like that. All right, so that's articulation. Now we're going to talk about volume. All right, so volume is how loud your voice projects. Volume can be manipulated in so many ways. If it's a voiceover project, usually I like to play in the field of intimate volume, depending on the character, obviously. By lowering your volume, you come to appreciate the power of getting a message across. Because if you're screaming all the time and you're talking loud all the time and you're like this is like, shut up. I cannot understand what you're saying, you know? So usually for a voiceover gig, I do like to be a little lower, you know, so that people actually are paying attention to what I say. You have more control of your voice on a low volume. It's very important the relationship with Mr. Microphone. You don't want to get too close or too far, depending on the intention. The engineer will tell you if it's too loud, they can tell you, hey, it's too hot, or if it's too soft. All right, let's talk very quickly about pitch slash range. So pitch is the highness or lowness of your voice and all the aspects in between. How deep or high you use your voice. You can still adjust the volume independently of the pitch. It should be used with purpose and sparingly to capture attention. Proper use of pitch adds to the story. All right, so we're going to do a pitch exercise, okay? You're going to try saying these phrases first with a high pitch, then a typical pitch of your voice, and then with a deeper pitch. And you're going to notice how they sound different. So we start with the high. And when I say high, you can go caricature, you know, like winter is coming. So that's very high, right? But it sounds cartoonish. Winter is coming. Very cartoonish. But if I want to do my regular voice in a high pitch, it would be like winter is coming. Winter is coming. And that's as high as I can go. If I'm not doing the winter is coming, right? It's also depending on the intention, the character, the texture that you want to give to your voice. But if you want to use your regular voice, just try to see how high you can go. Winter is coming. Winter is coming. If I go higher than that, it starts hurting and you don't want that, right? Regular pitch. Winter is coming. Winter is coming. Now the lower one. Winter is coming. Winter is coming. Winter is coming. If I go lower than that, it doesn't sound natural. It sounds, you know, fake, but also hurts a little bit, right? Breaking Bad, not Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones. You shall not pass. 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 That's too much for me, right? Um, yeah, and you are going to find which one sounds better, right? You shall not pass. Maybe that sounds all right. I mean, I obviously cannot do an Ian McKellen voice as Gandalf in The Lord of the Rings. You can't handle the truth. 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 I think this one works better in the regular pitch. You can't handle the truth. And this is from A Few Good Men, I think that's the name of the movie. Jack Nicholson. My precious, my precious, my precious, my precious, my precious, my precious, my precious. And this is from also Lord of the Rings. That is Gollum, Schmeagol, my precious. So that is another tool, right? Texture. So you can do it in a higher pitch or a lower pitch or your own pitch. But then you can add some texture to your voice. My precious. Something like that. Again, I cannot do Andy Serkins as Gollum in The Lord of the Rings. He's fantastic. I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog too. I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog too. I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog too. I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog too. That sounds too funny in a deep voice. And I think this is from The Wizard of Oz. All right, so this is just a pitch exercise. If I didn't warm up, even if it was for this little time we did it, this would hurt. All right, so what is your baseline? What is your baseline for your pitch? This is a way you can identify what is your baseline, right? You're going to say the word yes and repeat it till you find your comfortable, typical baseline pitch. Now say yes at your baseline pitch and then raise it a step higher. Continue going step by step higher to get a feel for your comfort range. Then take a few steps down in your pitch to find your deeper pitch for yes. So you start yes, 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 yes. That's too much. Yes, 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 yes. That's too much. The key here is to use varying pitches that are comfortable and natural for you. If you don't like the way they sound, odds are others will not either. So find the pitches that work for you and are not forced. All right, let's talk about tempo. The rate at which the actors speak, right? How fast or slow your voice is. Through tempo, we set the mood and how we pace the story. Most people read too fast most of the time. They read typically much faster than they communicate one-to-one. That doesn't mean that there are some scripts that require a faster read, but as a rule of thumb, take your time. Allow the story to unfold. You should give time to breathe, to allow you to have a chance to express what needs to be expressed, to allow the audience to absorb and feel and understand the message. When we talk really fast, right? Audience can lose the ability to follow what we are saying, and the words begin to not mean as much. Also, when we speak fast, we don't pause before or after a word, and pausing is really important since it's all about the emphasis. Kinetic style, when they ask you that the character is going to have a kinetic style, that means it's faster, energetic, excitement. That's usually when you are doing a radio commercial for a salesman, right? An announcer selling cars. This is the car for you. This is the moment you've been waiting for. Don't wait too long. This is the time. Dial now. 1-800, blah, 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 blah. And then we have the psychological, which is slow down, right? That's more like a bank or a hospital or something like that. From our family to your family, we will welcome you at Wells Fargo or something like that. All right. So for a tempo exercise, you're gonna do this at your own. Okay. You want to get some copy. Copy is what we call the script in voiceover, in voice acting, right? If you hear that, bring me some copy or highlight your copy or whatever. That's the script. That's how they call it. You're gonna read the copy like you would normally do. Okay. You can grab a magazine or something, and you're going to read an ad, right? The way you would normally do. You're going to do it again, but this time you're going to do it at 75%. All right. So if the regular speed is 50%, then 75% will be a little faster, right? Find out which one sounds better. Some copy will sound better at 75 speed. Some other copy might sound better at your regular speed. Being able to manipulate your tempo will allow you to sell better. And that's what we are sometimes. We are a product. We sell stuff. All right. So, conclusion. By focusing on these 4 tools, you can take what now might be 2 or 3 basic read styles and turn that into 20 or 30 because that's how diverse we are as humans. You can have one voice, and that one voice can give you several types of characters and options by changing pitch, volume, and speed. All right, so this is our voice acting class number 1. The next class, which I'm not sure I have anything booked for this month, but maybe for next month, if you want to join me again, we can go through voice acting 2, where I talk about the types of voiceover work, how to analyze voiceover copy, your vocal identity, and what it takes to get hired. All right, so that's it for voice acting number 1. I'm going to stop sharing this. Thank you. Yes, yes, yes. Thumbs up. All right. We only have 4 more minutes, which I want to use to give you my email. If you want the PDF of this class, send me an email. Do not give me your email. So do not start typing your email and send it to me. I am going to give you my email. And if you want the PDF, send me an email and I will reply with the PDF. So my email is J as in Jack, and then my name, Omar, Omar, my last name, Padilla, P as in Peter, A, D as in David, I-L-L-A, the letter O at gmail.com. So that is J as in Jack, Omar Padilla, O at gmail.com. And you can see it in the Q&A box. All right. Well, thank you everybody for being here. I do have to end this class sharp at 7 because I need to go to rehearsal at the Children's Theater. But I hope you enjoyed the class. I hope it was helpful. If you want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is at Omar Duke. So you can follow my work. I don't post too much. I haven't posted in like 2 years actually. But just in case you want to check it out, I'm probably going to delete my account because I don't know, it's probably not for me anymore. But that's my Instagram handle. That's my email. And I don't know, are you able to see that? I cannot see any of your comments anymore for some reason. Host and panelists. I don't know if I already stopped sharing my screen. Can somebody tell me if I stopped sharing my screen? Yeah, I think so. Don't see the email? Okay, here it goes again. It's J as in Jack, OMARPADILLAO at gmail.com. There it goes again. It says you to host and panelists. So it's J Omar Padilla O at gmail.com. Show email address again. I wonder why are you not seeing it? It's on the Q&A box on the virtual workshop chat. But that's why I got it. All right, perfect. There it is. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for connecting with me. I really appreciate it. I really hope that it's productive and helpful for you. And again, if you want the PDF, just send me an email. Do not wait until next week or anything like that, because I'm going to try to send the PDF tomorrow. So if you wait after tomorrow morning, you probably won't get it. So try to do it tonight, and I will make sure to send the PDF tomorrow morning. All right. Thank you so much again and have a good night. Have a good night. Thank you. And again, if you want to connect with me, I think I have a class next month and I can make it voice acting too so that we can learn more about it. All right. Thank you, everyone. Good night. Thank you, iPhone. Thank you, Tiffany. Good night. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. Have a good night. Thanks. This was great. Thank you, Gregory. I really appreciate the comment. Thank you so much. Amazing presentation. Thank you, Tiffany. I appreciate that. I didn't know that my other class was on YouTube. If you want to go check it out, the audition process, for those of you who wanted to check the audition process, go for it. All right. Thank you. Look forward to learning more from you. Thank you, Emiliano. Appreciate it. Please sleep email slower for me. Sleep email. Oh, all right. Here we go. It's J as in Jack, O as in Oscar, M as in Mary, A as in Apple, R as in Robert, P as in Peter, A as in Apple, D as in David, I as in Igloo, L as in Larry, L as in Larry, A as in Apple, O as in Oscar at gmail.com. There it is again. I really enjoy your presentation. Thank you. Thank you, Brandy. Thank you. Thank you. There it is again. I gotta go. All right. Have a good night, everybody, and enjoy your weekend.